And it ended 0-0 in the first leg of the Qatar 2022 World Cup between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Black Stars of Ghana at the Babayara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. Both countries still have everything to play for in the second leg tomorrow that will be taking place at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. In that tie, a score draw will see Ghana through to their fourth World Cup appearance, and another 90-minute goalless draw will mean that both teams will go into extra time and a penalty shootout. But an outright win will mean that Nigeria will be making their seventh appearance at the FIFA World Cup. We are very sorry for not being able to bring you the review of that game in Kumasi, but like they say, better late than never, and here we are. My name is Olufemi Ashalu, and this is Niger Superfans Forum. I have Kayode Ogundare in the studio. Kayode, you said it that Ghana was not going to beat the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and it happened. But it left so much to be desired, particularly about the performance of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I don't know how you feel, but that is how a lot of Nigerians felt after that game. Let's quickly talk about that game, Kayode.
You remember part of that game, I talked about the 3 M's that Nigeria had to manage, master before the game. During the game. I talked about mental alertness, I talked about mobility, and I talked about game management. I saw all 3 come into play. The alertness level were not what it should be, and there were 1 or 2 anxious moments that could have gone either way against Nigeria. And the mobility was not top-notch. You saw the Ghanaians running around the midfield, which you used about that the midfield was going to be Ghanaian all through. And in cases like that, I expected that there are 2 ways to go about it. It's either you cede the midfield to the opposition and you now try to circumvent them by going around them, or you try to match them man for man. And how can you match them man for man if you are playing a 3-man midfield and they are coming with 5 men at you? What you do is you deploy your fullbacks to join the attack, the midfield whenever you are in possession, so that you have 5 men to counter their own 5 men. We didn't see much of that from the bench now, because I expected that direction to come from the bench. We didn't see it, but all in all, it was a good game. No victor, no vanquish. We go again on Tuesday. Okay,
let's look at the lineup. A lot of people actually lamented that it was like a continuation of what we saw at the AFCON, and I think the Gabon philosophy came through. Perhaps he was satisfied with what the boys did for him at the AFCON. It was still the Kelechi Iheanacho, the Moses Simon, the Samuel Chukwueze. Do you think the lineup was much predictable?
Yeah, it was sort of predictable, and to be honest, I wouldn't blame him too much about the lineup. Save for 1 or 2, probably who was not there. Then Chukwueze, who I've said this to a lot of people, has not raised his game. Chukwueze has a lot of promise. He has shown a lot of promise, but he has not raised his game. I can't recollect the last decent game he played for Nigeria. That's the honest truth.
Maybe 2019 after against South Africa.
Probably.
In the quarterfinals.
So he hasn't raised his game, and he begins to bring serious question into his continued inclusion in the team. So apart from that, you will expect that it's logical that we all praise the performance of the team at the AFCON. So starting the bulk of that team, except in who was not available, made sense. But then at the point you saw that things were not working according to plan, the outlet for all our attacking intent at the AFCON was Moses. Moses was not doing that which I expected him to do. Chukwueze was not up to scratch. I expected the changes to have come earlier than they did.
I remember you, Kayode, saying that the antics of the Ghanaians off the field will not be responsible for the outcome of that game. But of course, we remember the experience of the players, at the airport, jumping on an iron stair instead of the usual ramp. And then Osimhen said they had 45 minutes delay from the hotel to the stadium, which was just supposed to just be 20-25 minutes. And a lot of that, I said they didn't have the chance to inspect the pitch before the game. But let's look at it. I remember you saying that it would be criminal for Gabon to start just a defensive midfielder, just one. But that was what happened for much of the game until we saw Etebo and
Onyeka. That was why we suffered. And that was why we suffered, because, like I said, I don't have a coaching certificate yet, but I know from the little the knowledge I have about football that you cannot play a team of Ghana's caliber with the kind of midfielders that they have. And you expect that you're going to play them with just one defensive midfielder. even in the would have struggled in that game. So what I expected was we were going to play a two-man midfield. Two defensive midfielders. That was what would have been okay. One would stabilize the midfield. The other one would act as a shield in front of the central defender. And that was why Bonke was overworked, and he showed in his game. He started brightly, but as time went on, he had to slow down because he was overworked. And you saw that. And
we saw that he injured himself.
He trained himself. And what was his name?
Frank Onyeka came in. It was stability.
The instant stability. That's what you get when you are forward thinking, and that's what I think was lacking on Friday.
Okay, I thank God the damage wasn't really done, though it wasn't the scoreline that we predicted. But Kade, you said you saw a goalless draw at worst, or a draw.
I said a draw.
I saw a draw at worst. But it seems you already knew the psychology of the player, of the Nigerian players. Was it because of the rivalry, or because of the how tense the game was going to be? I'm talking about the result now, and where does that leave us, Kayode, before we go into the preview for the game in Abuja?
Femi, I waited until the last possible minute before I made that projection that because I looked at the Ghana team. I know that some of these things are not, they look better on paper than in real life. I looked at that Ghana team and I felt, given the pedigree of the Nigerian team, that and the intimidating atmosphere at Abuja Stadium, everything factored into the pot. I just felt they were not going to beat Nigeria. I just felt it, and I said if there was going to be a winner, it would be Nigeria. But the worst I saw in that game would be a draw, that Nigeria was not going to lose that game. And nothing, even as the game wore on, nothing changed my belief. I still thought we were going to make it at the death, or we were going to go with that draw. So for me, it was very, very great. Although I wanted a score draw, I wanted the 1-1, a 2-2. You remember?
So that we can be safe.
Either 1-1 or 2-2. I did not bargain for this 0-0 because 0-0 actually puts the pressure back on Nigeria. Now we have to win. We are condemned to win now. We cannot afford to play a 0-0 full-time regulation and extra time. That will take us to penalty, which means that it is outside the hands of both teams. Then if we play a 1-1, that will take us to penalty. If we play 2-2, if we play 1-1, that means Nigeria is out. If we play 2-2, Nigeria, any other draw apart from a 0-0 will mean Nigeria is out. So we are condemned to win, and that will put a lot of pressure on the Eagles. Now you have to win in front of fans who have not yet forgiven everything that happened at the afternoon. Seriously, and there are fans who thought Nigeria did not do as much as they expected in the first leg. So in front of them, fans who will be screaming their heads off, you have to be 110% alert in order not to minimize your mistakes. Okay,
Kari, we are going to still do much of that talking when we go to the preview for the game, but it will not be acceptable for us if we fail to talk about the performance of Francis Uzoho, who replaced Maduka Okoye in goal. And of course, we had a chance by Moses Simon that wasn't taken. But let's look at Uzoho's performance. Were you satisfied?
Yeah, frankly, I was impressed by Uzoho's performance. I like the assured showing. He showed that he was in control of his area, and for the first time I saw a Nigerian goalkeeper who was actually in control of the balls across the face of goal. Yeah, I saw that.
I remember you pointed out that it has been the challenge of Nigerian goalkeepers of recent. Yeah.
And when I saw it, I think I mentioned it to somebody who was with me watching the game. I said, you know what? This is the first time I'm seeing a Nigerian goalkeeper do this. It shows his improvement over time. It shows that he's probably, maybe we have been shooting ourselves in the foot, keeping him on the bench. But don't let
fine boy Maduka.
Although with all he did, I still have some reservations about his performance. I saw him holding on to the ball for far too long. There are times that a goalkeeper is the first point of attack. You get hold of the ball and you quickly release it.
I will ask you a question regarding that in a second. No, go on. But I'm going to ask you about a statement Emmanuel Amuneke made about that.
All right. So that was what I expected him to do. Quickly launch an attack before the Ghanaians can rally, because you see most of the Ghanaians come at Nigeria. So when you have the ball, before they recover, you launch the ball because you have people up front who can make use of it. That I saw him 2, 3, 4 times, did not do. And for me, I felt that was a drawback on his performance. Hopefully, after a video analysis, the goalkeeper trainer will be able to point out that to him, and he will correct it in subsequent matches.
Okay, what about the chance that Moses Simon didn't take for the Super Eagles?
Well, it's one of the things that happens in the course of a football game. he actually struck the ball well. He didn't go in because the goalkeeper was there. So I do not think in 4 out of 5 times that ball would have gone in. The fact that he did not go in should not take anything away from the precision and the sharpness of the ball. It's just the same way with the Ishaka Fatau save that was
unmade.
That 4 out of 5 times that would have been a goal. So these things happen in the course of 90 minutes. So I'm not going to take anything away from both players. Moses and the Ishaku Fatau guy. They were well struck, but the goalkeepers were there at the right time.
Okay, so if you're a Nigerian and you know how to play, please pray for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They will be needing a lot of that tomorrow because Imam Namdeke said this is a two-legged affair, and when it comes to Ghana, you can't just push them over, no matter how badly they are playing at the moment. We'll quickly go on this very brief break. We'll be back to talk about the game tomorrow, what we think the Super Eagles should do. And of course, we'll be talking about the Ghanaians because Thomas Partey said it is not yet over for his team. We'll be back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and it's still Nigeria Super Fans Forum. In the segment we just finished, we looked at the performance of the Super Eagles of Nigeria at the Abuja Stadium. And we'll be looking at what they need to do differently as they go into that crucial game tomorrow against the Black Stars of Ghana. Remember that the Eagles need an outright victory to book their appearance in Qatar. And of course, for the Ghanaians, a score draw will be fine for them, while another 90 minutes of goalless draw will mean that both teams will go into extra time before the penalty shootout. Of course, we're not praying for that scenario. But Kayode, before we went on that break, you talked about Zoho, not releasing the ball in time. Emmanuel Amuneke, after the game, came out to say that they achieved their aim in Kumasi, meaning that maybe, like he said, in a two-legged affair, if you can't win away from home, don't lose. Perhaps that was a tactic from the team.
It's possible. It's possible. But when you have the chance, the potential to win a game, and you do not win, it leaves a sour taste in the mouth. That you know what, we could have taken this game. And seriously, I felt Nigeria could have taken that game. But
you feel the technical team didn't do enough? They didn't do their work properly, or enough? They didn't do it enough.
Probably there could be a lot of.
Because it seems we had enough Arsenal on the pitch.
Points about what went wrong, what could have gone right that did not. So I don't even want us to cry over split milk. That is in the past. Like you said, what lies ahead at the National Stadium in Abuja on Tuesday. That's what I think we should be talking about now. That is gone. It is gone. Uzo, like I said, I have reservations about part of his performance, but overall, I was calling him a 7 over 10.
You must have been maybe a street lecturer, maybe in your former life.
No, really, he deserves all of 7, and I would have given him. But see, let's put this game in context for me. This game is like the biggest for both countries. We are talking about a game that is going to fetch the winner as much as in 5.6 billion naira.
I'm sorry, why are you talking about the money?
No,
you told me during the countdown that I focus so much on the money.
Yes.
So why are you talking about? You are not even talking about the prestige of playing at the World Cup.
Probably not.
Or maybe I've infected you anyway.
Probably now that you have stopped talking about the money.
Okay, you took it, or you took it off.
And it's capable of fetching the Ghanaians as much as 16 billion cedis. That is a lot of money. So apart from the prestige of playing at the World Cup, I think it is something that that is also worthy of breaking an arm and a leg to get to the World Cup for, because apart from that prestige of flying your flag at the World Cup, you see also going to win that much money. Like you said the last time, that's a tidy sum of money that can do a lot for the country's football. And then there's a little matter of national pride. We're playing at the National Stadium in Abuja.
Course.
We have not played a competitive match there in 10 years.
Of course.
In 10 years.
Yeah.
This is going to be a sort of homecoming for the Super Eagles. And I think it is worthy of being a good homecoming by winning a World Cup ticket there.
Okay, our starting 11, Kayode. A lot of Nigerians, after that game against Ghana, expressed reservation about the performance of Chukwueze, Kelechi Iheanacho, and of course, Moses Simon, who was our shining light at the AFCON. Do you think now Igabon should look at, bringing in maybe someone like Ademola Lookman, Emmanuel Dennis starting, or maybe even forfeiting one of the wings to have an extra man in the middle?
You know, when you are condemned to win a game of this magnitude, you want to put all of your attack, or if it's possible to put all of your attacking talents in the game, you want to do that, but you cannot for obvious reasons. But then you put as much as you can. Then you are also wary of making mistakes at the back that could cost you. So now I will expect that, depending on how this is a very big if, depending on how these players react in training, because we don't get to see them train. The coaches do. That's why sometimes I am reluctant to blame coaches for their lineups, because they make lineups based on what they see in training. We sit in the studio, we sit as spectators and say, why is player A there and why is player B not there? Because you don't get to see what the coaches see in training. So based on how they perform in training, I think an Emmanuel Dennis should be starting this game. I have sort of fallen in love with that guy. And when he came in Ghana, you saw the potency that he brought, the urgency that he brought to the team. Yeah. That's the kind of urgency that we should take into this game. Because the first 20 minutes is going to be very, very crucial. Because if we don't get to score, as the game wears on, then the Ghanaians will get
the confidence
to even come out at us. So we have to put them on the back foot for a larger percentage of the game and make sure that we try as much as we can to get a goal as quickly as we can. And then, because of the nature of this game, because of the as it stands now, we cannot get one goal and go to bed. We have to look for another one. And if we can play the Oliver Twist, another one again.
This one, you can't be an Oliver Twist in this kind of game. You can as many goals as you can.
In order to be sure that you will not be surprised. So that's where I see this game going to pan out. Nigeria will bring out its arsenal of attacking talents. Ghana will want to defend as much as they can and hopefully take the game to extra time and possibly penalties where it will be an even playground for everybody. So we have to strike a balance between attack, the temptation to attack, and the realization that we should not leave our back unguarded. So that's what Guavon's job is now. He must make sure that he doesn't make the mistake of attacking, and allow Ghana to do a counter attack and score a goal that would be fatal. So that, I think, is the summary of what we expect to see in this game. As for the personnel, I'm not going to do his job. As much as I think he should rest Chukwueze, that's what I will say. All other players, I will allow him to pick his team himself, because you know what, for two reasons. He's going to be the guy who gets the paycheck at the end of the month. One. Then secondly, if things don't work according to plan, his head is on the block, not mine. So I will allow him to do his job. But all I can say is, I've seen Chukwueze, and you should know this, I've talked about Chukwueze over a long period of time. He doesn't get to do as much as he does for Villarreal when it comes to the national team. If he needs to sit on the bench for a while in order to get his bearing, then he should do it. But the 3 M's that we talked about in the last game, we're still going to talk about them now. Although I'm going to add a 4th M now. The 3 M's,
which is?
Hold on. The 3 M's we talked about game management. We talked about mobility and mental alertness. In fact, this game, we have to be mentally alert, much more than...
This is a final. No other opportunity will come for this anymore.
This is the final saga. We have to be mentally alert. We cannot afford to make mistakes. One, we have to manage our game better when we go up, when we are leading. Because if you are leading 1-0 up to the 85th minute now, 86, 87 minutes, you can never be too sure that you're going to be...
A corner kick, a free kick, a mistake.
It reminds me of the last time we had a game at the same National Stadium in Abuja. It was an AFCON qualifier in 2012 against Guinea. We were leading 2-1, and that one would have been enough for us to get to the Nations Cup. But we made a very silly mistake. Guinea came back into the game and scored the second goal. 2-2, end of story. We were out of AFCON, So we don't want lightning to strike twice at the same place. So that's why we have to be mentally alert. One, manage our game better. Then mobility. We have to be more mobile. We have to put players who can run for 90 minutes and extra. Who can run their socks, who can wear their socks off. So that mobility is key. Then the final management, the final end that I'm going to bring in is the management, the manager. We need the manager on the pitch and on the sideline. Edward is the manager on the sideline. Then we now need the manager on the pitch. Who will be like the leader on the pitch.
Surely that will be a Kong. Who is the captain?
It doesn't necessarily have to be.
Okay.
It could be a Balogun, it could be a Musa, it could be any of the players who will take responsibility, seize the game by the scruff of the neck. It could be a Victor Osimhen, for example. Anybody that steps up to the plate for me on the day is the manager. So we need that 4 M's now. And the most important one is the manager on the pitch. Because the manager on the sideline can do as much as he can until the team files onto the pitch. See, all those talks on the sideline for me doesn't really actually make any much impact once the game gets underway. According to the great Sheikh Ondegba, he says whatever the manager says before you get on the game, 5 minutes into the game, you are not playing on automation. So I agree with him. I've also played football. I know that whatever the coach says is for just for a time until you get onto the pitch. So for me, but if you now have a manager on the pitch, that guy can keep you guys grounded. He can tell you, you know what, yeah, go. You stay back. You do this. You do that. He knows if there's a hole, he quickly runs to plug it. If he has to drag people back, he drags them. If he has to push them forward, he pushes them forward. So that will be the critical aim that we must have in this game.
Okay, Kaude, as we are rounding up now, let's look at Osimhen. He was left frustrated in Kumasi. No service. This game, how can the Super Eagles get the ball up to Osimhen to do the damage?
First, talking about Osimhen, I think we have to give credit to Otuado for the way he handled Osimhen in the first leg. He detailed that while Amate will stay on him, the other guy, Jiku, will stay like 3 meters away so that they were double teaming in. There's no way he was going to go beyond
double, both of them.
They were not playing flat. That for me is quick thinking, logical thinking. So, and I don't expect them to do anything different in the second leg. So now that's where the support that we're talking about comes from. Getting the ball to Osimhen could be a little bit tricky because of the attention that he will have. But you know what? If you have a winger, maybe Simon Moses on the wing or somebody else, maybe a Musa or anybody who can run the flag.
But we saw that our wingers didn't come to party in Ghana.
That's with the benefit of hindsight now, with what happened, learning from what happened in Ghana, you cannot decide to free Simon Moses here, or you bring in a Musa here, or even an Olaino who can bomb down the flank, let them bomb down the flank, pull the ball into the box. When you put the ball in the air, give Osimhen a 50-50 chance with the defenders. Let's see how it goes. And I'm sure that he's a good header of the ball. He can take his chances. But if you keep on playing the ball in, they will kick him off the park. That's what I think. Okay,
let's look at the midfield now. Do you think Guavon should start? We're still not certain if Bonke will be fit. You remember he was substituted in that game in Ghana. Should Guavon consider starting Frank Oyeka and Etebo together? And the defense, the Oyinbo wall is back now. Would you say we should stick with that? Were you satisfied with their performance in Ghana? Very briefly.
Maybe I judge the players by a higher standard than they judge themselves. Let me start with. I think Guavon should start the game the way we ended the first leg with the players on the pitch if there are no injuries. I think Etebo and Frank Onyeka should play with Aribo in the middle of the park. Then, and this is a very big then, we should make a decision. If we're going to go with the 4-4-2, although there are problems inherent in playing the 4-4-2, or you play 4-3-3. So you have to weigh the pros and the cons. Do you have the players to play either of this formation? Or if you are daring enough, although that would be suicidal, you can go for a 3-5-2 if you have the ability. Because what I want us to understand is Ghana would likely not change their formation because it paid off for them. They may not have won the game, but they have a lot of positives to take from that performance. So, and they won the battle of the midfield. Let's not cap ourselves.
No doubt about that.
So why would Otuado want to change?
That's why I'm saying if Etebo and Onyeka should start,
in order to. Even if Etebo and Onyeka should start, that would still mean that we will still be outnumbered in the midfield. So that means what you do now is you encourage your fullbacks to become wing backs. Once we are in possession, they become wing backs. They join the middle, so that they are able to stave off any attack
from the middle
before it becomes a threat. Then Seydou must be very, very careful about Kudus. So we talked about
the damage, of course.
I saw him. I told you I didn't know the number he was going to be wearing, but beware of that boy. And Baba Idris also did the same. These are players that we talked about. Fine, Partey was all over the pitch, but you saw that if the goal was going to come, it was going to come from either of those boys, not Partey.
Of course.
That was why I was telling you that we shouldn't concentrate on Partey. If we did, we could be hot.
We will miss the real threat.
We miss the real threat. Ghana, they are shackled by a lack of attacking talent. but they are compensating for that with good ball juggling offensive midfielders. You saw those boys. You saw what they are capable of doing. And if not for the quick thinking of a Leon Balogun, for example,
we have been talking about something different now.
Counting the cost, and I expect them to come at us again. Now, looking at the Oyibo War, the person I thought was going to have issues was Leon Balogun because he was coming back from an injury. But he stood up on the day and it was massive for us. But I expect him to still do the same in the second leg. It is a make or mark for Trustekon.
Win or bust, that is what they talk about.
It is a make or mark for Trustekon. This is the game by which he is going to be judged. One, you are captain. You are central defender. You should be doing better. And
you have about 60,000 people screaming on your...
Screaming over your head that you are not going to have a moment to breathe. And Femi, in rounding up, you should also remember that there's a little matter of a 12.2 million euros that we are angling after. So it should please, for everybody's sake, I beg you, not let Nigeria.
I thought I loved money, but I didn't know that someone loved money more than I do. I'm not mentioning any name now.
Better,
let me take your prediction for that game.
We're going to win this game. 2-0.
2-0.
Yes.
Last against Ghana, before we played against Ghana, our producer said 2-0, but unfortunately, I think it's like that Ghanaian pastor who predicted doom for Ghana, but at the end of the day, it was almost like the reverse. So our producer, what's your prediction? 2-0, still going with 2-0. It seems everybody read my mind, so it will be 2-0. Oh, Ajia, what's your prediction? 2-0. Oh, okay.
Ayo is there.
Bro, what's your prediction?
Why go hold on. Why is everybody saying 2-0? Is it because I said 2-0? No, it's not because
even if everybody said 2-0, at least somebody's mentioned about the $12.2 million.
Okay.
Like you've repeatedly done on this show.
Okay, everybody's agreed on 2-0.
Yeah.
We hope
it will be
2-0 and that we have cause to smile at the end of the game. Of course.
That was exactly what Emmanuel Amunike said that they hopefully pray that they will be able to put a smile on the faces of Nigerians after the game. So we also hope that by the time we'll be returning to look at that game again, that is a preview now, or a review, we will all be smiles here, talking about how we'll be starting preparation to play again in another World Cup in Qatar in November. So that is the size of the show today. Kayode, thank you once again for coming through on the show. And we hope that after securing our ticket, we can go somewhere and just enjoy ourselves.
We'll come to the studio and celebrate.
Okay, to our producers, thank you very much for being around all this while. And to you also, don't forget to continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get our videos as they drop. And to our Ghanaians, we are sorry at this time that, come on, we just have to go to the World Cup. While you guys wait to make your fourth appearance, maybe in 2026, of course. My name is Oluwafemi Ashaolu. Bye for now.